Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here in City Hall. The October 14th, 2019 City Council meeting of the full City Council will come to order. It's 2:00 p.m. I'm Bruce Harrell, President of the Council. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Swan.
Here.
Bagshaw. Gonzalez.
Here.
Herbold.
Here.
Juarez.
Here.
Pacheco. Here. President Harrell.
Here.
7 present.
Thank you very much. If there's no objection, today's introduction and referral calendar will be adopted. Hearing no objection, the introduction and referral calendar is adopted. If there's no objection, today's agenda will be adopted. Hearing no objection, today's agenda will be adopted. The minutes of the September 23rd, 2019 City Council meeting have been reviewed, and if there's no objection, the minutes will be signed. Hearing no objection, the minutes are being signed. Presentations, I'm not aware of any presentations this afternoon. And so at this time, we'll take public comment on items that appear on our agenda, our introduction referral calendar, or our 2019 work program. I do not believe we have any signers for the public comment sheet. Let me double check that. Correct. So we will close public comment section and move to the payment of the bills. Please read the title.
Council Bill 119665, appropriating money to pay certain audited claims for the week of September 30th, 2019 through October 4th, 2019, and ordering the payment thereof.
I'll move to pass Council Bill 119665.
Second.
So moved and seconded that the bill pass. Any comments? Please call the roll on the passage of the bill.
Swan.
Aye.
Bagshaw.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Herbold.
Aye.
Juarez. Pacheco.
Aye.
President Harrell.
Aye.
7 in favor, none opposed.
Bill passes and the chair will sign it. Okay, please read the short title of the first agenda item.
The report of the Planning, Land Use, and Zoning Committee, Agenda Item 1, Clerk File 314365, application of Kathleen Justice to rezone approximately 18,423 square feet of land addressed at 5256 Rainier Avenue South. The committee recommends that the application be granted as conditioned.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Pacheco.
Hi, colleagues. This is a contract rezone application from Kathleen Justice to rezone approximately 18,423 square feet site at 5256 Rainier Avenue South from Neighborhood Commercial 2 with a 55-foot height limit to Neighborhood Commercial 2 with a 65-foot height limit and a higher corresponding MHA requirement. The applicant plans to develop the site into a 6-story, 73-unit apartment building with commercial space. SDCI and the hearing examiner both recommended approval as condition. The PLUS committee unanimously recommended approval in September with one amendment to correct the title of the clerk file.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Pacheco. Any other questions or comments before we move this? If not, I will move to pass Council Bill 11966. I'm sorry. Strike that. Those in favor of granting the application as conditioned, please vote aye. Aye. Those opposed vote no. The motion carries. The application is granted as conditioned, and the chair will sign the findings, conclusions, and decision of the City Council. Please read the next agenda item.
The report of the City Council, Agenda Item 2, Council Bill 119664, relating to land use and zoning, amending Chapter 23.32 of the Seattle Municipal Code at page 159 of the official land use map to rezone property located at 5256 Rainier Avenue South from Neighborhood Commercial 255 to Neighborhood Commercial 265, and accepting a property use and development agreement as a condition of rezone approval. Councilmember
Pacheco.
Hi, colleagues. Again, this is just the corresponding council bill for the contract rezone and would amend the land use map to reflect the new zoning.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure, but my notes suggest that there might be an amendment to this item. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? It says on my notes, item 2 may move to amend. Is there an amendment, Councilmember Pacheco, that you may know about?
I'm not aware of an amendment.
Okay, so if you're not aware of the amendment.
It's a substitute for the Exhibit B for the executed property land use and development agreement.
So can you, it's a
Exhibit B
Exhibit B.
to the bill.
It's a substitution for Exhibit B. Can you say more?
It's your substitute.
Say it into the mic so we can all hear you.
The recommended motion is to amend Council Bill 119664, Exhibit B for the executed property use and development agreement for the unexecuted property use and development agreement. It's on the agenda as a proposed substitute.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. So it's a substitution.
Exactly. Move this.
And it's basically a substitution of the unexecuted one for the executed one. So would you like to make that motion, Councilmember Pacheco, which is a substitution for the executed one to substitute for the unexecuted document?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor of the amendment, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, now we have an amended piece of legislation, which is a bill. So please call the roll on the passage of the amended bill.
Sawant.
Aye.
Bagshaw.
Aye.
Gonzalez. Herbold.
Aye.
Juarez. Pacheco.
Aye.
President Harrell.
Aye.
7 in favor, none opposed.
The bill passed and shall sign it. Please read agenda item number 3.
Agenda item 3, Council Bill 119663, relating to city employment, authorizing execution of a collective bargaining agreement between the City of Seattle and the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Number 77, Construction Maintenance Equipment Operator Unit, and ratifying and confirming certain prior acts.
Councilmember Bagshaw.
Thank you very much. This legislation would authorize the execution of a collective bargaining agreement between the city and our International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Number 77, and it would be the Construction Maintenance Equipment Operators Unit. This is recommended by our Director of Human Resources and the Mayor as well to execute this collective bargaining agreement. And as I mentioned this morning, it's not usual for these to come through the Finance Committee, but since these kinds of things normally would, I have the pleasure of presenting this to you. The collective bargaining agreement's a 4-year period from January 1st, 2019, so we're going back retroactively through December 31st of 2022, and would affect the wages, benefits, and hours of approximately 50 employees in 3 city departments, Seattle Public Utilities, our SDOT, and Parks and Recreation, and we recommend that we move forward with this legislation.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments? If not, I will move to pass Council Bill 119663. Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Will the clerk please call the roll on the passage of the bill?
Sawant.
Aye.
Bagshaw.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
Herbold.
Aye.
Juarez. Pacheco.
Aye.
President Harrell.
Aye.
7 in favor, none opposed.
Bill passed and shall sign it. Please read the next agenda items 4 through 24.
Agenda items 4 through 24, appointments 1425 and 1438 through 1457, appointments of Joseph Gunnar Colleen as to member of Seattle Bicycle Advisory Board, Amanda Sandoval, Seattle Immigrant and Refugee Commission, Eliza Cobbs-Ramsey, Board of Park Commissioners, Brian Stromer, Seattle Transit Advisory Board, Gregory J. Catron, Seattle Center Advisory Commission, Nathaniel Higbee, Seattle LGBTQ Commission, Sheila Gaibi, Seattle Arts Commission, Adriana Lasso Herrera, Seattle Women's Commission, Gloria Mard, Seattle Design Review Board, Justin Panjaniban, Design Review Board, Olivia G. Price, Pioneer Square Preservation Board, Lucas Whitesell, Seattle Design Commission, Hannah Wilson, Seattle Commission for People with Disabilities, Rian Lahiri Galloway Watt, Seattle Planning Commission, Sharif Mafuzi, Community Involvement Commission, Felicia Turner Murphy, Seattle Renters Commission, Jaden Z. Wick, Seattle Human Rights Commission, Catherine Crimmins, Community Technology Advisory Board, Nayati Johnson, Urban Forestry Commission, Ian McLeod, Landmarks Preservation Board, and Emily Meltzer, Seattle Pedestrian Advisory Board. All appointments are for a term to August 31st, 2020.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So we had this morning the Get Engaged appointees, all of whom appear very qualified and very eager and committed to work. I will not go through all of their individual backgrounds. All of you have their, not just their names, but their backgrounds, the applicable commission or board. You have other information. They've been vetted by the city. We want to thank the YMCA and all the volunteers that played a role in selecting these fine individuals. We learned this morning that there were I think, approximately 75 applicants to these positions. So for those that didn't make the cut, we hope that they reapply again. Certainly a competitive lot. So again, we want to thank these Get Engaged members for joining the board and commission family for the city to give us not only strong policy advice and being active, but working with the communities, make sure they are liaisons as well. We look forward to their great ideas. Any questions or comments on any of these individuals or this legislation? Councilmember Bagshaw.
Actually, I would have a comment after we vote, if I may.
Okay, very good. Any other comments prior to the vote? Okay, if not, I will move, just one moment here. I move to confirm appointments 1425 and 1438 through 1457.
Second.
Those in favor of confirming the appointments, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed vote no. The motion carries and appointments are confirmed. Councilmember Bagshaw.
Thank you. I want to give Councilmember Herbold some credit here for this next sentence. As we were sitting at the table this morning, she leaned over to me and said, well, we should include seniors in something else, and we were deciding it should be a stay engaged program. And, you know, we do have a senior committee and a disabilities committee, but we really ought to be including seniors in many of these committees and commissions as we go forward. So, you know, this is the first time that it really has come up, but I know as we're working forward on our human services and our looking at the regional homelessness, we're being really careful to make sure the people with lived experience are in all the committees. I think similarly that as we're thinking about commissions that we should consider people who may be older than 65 might not know that they would be welcomed and have a stay engaged process.
Great idea. Great concept. Councilmember Herbold.
And just to give credit where credit's due, but thank you, Councilmember Bagshaw, for trying to give it to me. That's kind of you. It's a common refrain I hear from one of my constituents, Diane Rose Lee, Diane Vincent Rose, who monitors the council's workings very carefully and has pointed out to me a number of times that there aren't any, many of the commissions have very, very few older seniors on it, and that there is a wealth of experience there that we want to make sure our commissions have the advantage of. So perhaps we could speak to the why about creating a similar program for
or even our
seniors.
Human Services Department with the all ages and abilities approach that we're taking. And I want to extend thanks to my colleagues who are going to be here next year. I'm hoping somebody takes forward this banner and make sure that people who are in our community can really participate in ways that they may not have in the past. So many thanks.
Get engaged and stay engaged. That makes a lot of sense. And not only having that perspective on aging issues, but on all parts of our infrastructure and all types of issues. Great idea. Thanks for those comments. Please read the next agenda item into the record.
For introduction and adoption, Agenda Item 25, Resolution 31912, setting the public hearing on the petition of Willow Crossing LLLP for the vacation of a portion of 39th Avenue South of South Willow Street in the Othello Residential Urban Village neighborhood area of Seattle, according to Chapter 35.79 of the Revised Code of Washington, Chapter 15.62 of the Seattle Municipal Code, and Clerk File 314422.
Councilmember Pacheco.
So this resolution, colleagues, is setting the public hearing for the petition of Willow Crossing. It's a vacation of a portion of 39th Avenue south of South Willow Street in Othello Residential Urban Village neighborhood area of Seattle. According to Chapter 35.79 of the Revised Code of Washington, Chapter 15.62, the Seattle Municipal Code, and Clerk File 314422. The public hearing for this affordable housing development will be held on Wednesday, November 20th at 9:30 a.m. at the special meeting of the Sustainability and Transportation Committee. This housing project will provide 300 units close to the Othello Light Rail Station. The timing of this hearing is essential to secure a bond application through the Washington State Finance Commission that allows this project to be financially feasible and affordable to residents at 60% AMI. GMD development must be able to close by the end of the year. The lender and investor require confirmation that certain steps related to the permitting process have been completed in order to move forward with a December closing. The street vacation is an integral one of these steps. Unfortunately, waiting for the street vacation to be finalized until December 9th, when the council will vote after the 12-3 subcommittee meeting, does not allow enough time for the remaining closing activities to happen before the end of the year. This is why council is holding a special public hearing for the street vacation during budget, which will be led by Councilmember O'Brien.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Pacheco. Any questions or comments on this legislation? If not, I will move to adopt Resolution 31912. It's been moved and seconded that the resolution be adopted. Those in favor of adopting the resolution, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, vote no. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted, and Chair will sign it. Is there any further business to come before the council? Okay, if not, we stand adjourned, and everyone have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.